Hey guys, it's your friendly desert cul-de-sac Sarah here. Hi. For all you new folk, this is one of my car reviews. If you've never seen one before, there's a link floating around in the sky up there to another car review that you can check out before you watch this one. Or you can just watch this one. Whatever you prefer. Anyway, this is a 2019 Ford Edge ST that's named Eco Beast. So say hello, Eco Beast. You're supposed to beat. That's what Forrester Gump does. Please? Well, you lock the door, okay. Apparently Eco Beast isn't as friendly as Forrester Gump. He's also not as fast. Ooh, shots fired! Ooh, shots fired. Why did I do that? I'm so out of breath now. Anyway, let's start with the interior bits, work our way to the outside, then we'll get to the nerdy tech stuff and I'll drive this thing. I guess Ford gets the last laugh though because Subaru doesn't even make a performance crossover anymore. Subaru, why did you kill off the Forester XT? What is wrong with you? At least Ford's trying. Anyway, since I'm sitting on the interior of this thing now and I'm not driving, let's cover the interior bits that I like and I didn't like. First thing that I enjoy is this thing is super comfy. It's like sitting in a living room. I mean, it's big, it's spacious. Hello. Huge fan of the fact that it's got cooled and heated seats, which I have the cooled seats on right now and my butt cheeks are nice and freezing. It also has heated seats in the back, which is a big win. And all in all, it's just a nice interior on this, especially the black headliner. Good job, Ford, I like it. The fake carbon fiber on the dash is a no for me. I have to say these cup holders in the center console are the best in the game. They have these little plastic fingers that really cup your cuppy. You just grab it, feels like a baby's hand taking your cup gently and holding it in place. That was the most exaggerated explanation of a cup holder ever. But they're good cup holders, they really are. I like them. Bye. I found the sound system in this thing pretty bangin'. Get it? Bangin'? It's a bangin' sound system. No? Sounds good. I like it. The panoramic roof in here is a huge plus, however, it takes forever. Kind of like the Austin Powers scene where the steamroller crushes the guy. As far as this having an ST trim in the interior goes, I feel Ford kind of nailed it with this. It's not over the top and in your face. It's clean, it's subtle, it's classy. It looks good. I think they did a good job on the interior. There's nothing new and amusing about a power liftgate, but there is on this thing because you know how Fords have that typical do-do-do, do-do-do chime? Sorry, I'm bad at sound effects. Get off the camera, Fly. What is going on out here? Go! Now they're on me. Ugh. Anyway, when you close the liftgate on this thing, it's like the Ford chime, but the remix of it. It's like twice as fast. See? It was like twice as fast. It was like doo-doo-doo, doo-doo-doo, doo-doo-doo. I think it's amusing. As far as the exterior is concerned, can we not just take a moment here and appreciate that booty dough? I have to say the back of the Edge ST is my favorite part about it, and it actually kind of looks reminiscent of the previous generation Focus RS. The only thing I don't like though is these fake exhaust tips. It's like the robot at the factory was drunk and he accidentally welded the tip to the bumper instead of the exhaust pipe. Not really sure why the front ST badge is so tiny in comparison to the rear one. It's a little odd and out of place, but I guess it makes up for it by having 21-inch wheels. That's crazy, 21s on an Edge? The taillights in person look so pretty, and just the LED that goes through it kind of like messes with your eyes. The headlights, same thing, it's really pretty headlights, but the matching LED fog lights. Time to get nerdy. So I got the car in the garage and hood's popped. We're gonna look under the hood and check out what makes this Eco Beast purr, hum, fizz, growl. It's not really a growl. It's more of like, it reminds me a lot of a capybara. If you don't know what a capybara is, you should Google it because they kind of look similar and they have the same spirit. Anyway, that made no sense whatsoever, but this will. What really stood out to me when I was doing research on this 2.7 liter EcoBoost is the fact that it is a compacted graphite iron block. So basically what that means is, in a nutshell, is it has similar properties to being an iron block with aluminum heads, but it's not as heavy. So it doesn't have cylinder liners, but it's still a little bit more durable than if it were to be an aluminum block, and That means many boosts can be made with this engine. I don't know what the limits are of the 2.7 liter EcoBoost, but I would think that this thing can put out quite a bit of power if you slap on some bigger turbos on it and crank up the boost, which would be really interesting. Question is, will the 8-speed automatic transmission and all-wheel drive system be able to handle that kind of power? Definitely applaud Ford for going with a regular automatic transmission and not doing a CVT like Subaru did with the Forester XT, and that's probably why it got killed off, because there's a limit to how much power you can push through a CVT because the chain will start to slip in there if you put too many torques through it. So this transversely mounted 2.7 liter EcoBoost in this Capybara with wheels puts out 335 horsepower at 5,000 RPM and 380 pound-feet of torque at 3,000 RPM. So yes, it does have a little bit of lag. My heart goes out to you Ford techs that have to work on this thing, because a transversely mounted twin turbo 2.7 liter V6 with all-wheel drive crammed in something that has an engine bay this shape, I mean, half the battery is underneath the windshield. How would you even get to the rear bank of cylinders? That would be a nightmare. I guess you could probably take this engine cover off. What? No way! That is so crazy. I have never seen a rubber engine cover. Look at that. It's like, it's flexible. It's almost like it's foam. Well, I guess that's good. You'll never have to worry about cracking your engine cover when you take it on and off a bunch of times. That's so weird. I feel that this thing does get a lot of hate because of the fact that it's an Edge and it's wearing a ST nameplate. Does it deserve the ST badge? I feel that this is more than just a Ford Edge Sport. So as far as the interior goes, yes. The exterior styling, yeah, it's actually really good looking on the outside. You know, if you really look at it, it kind of looks like a bloated Fiesta ST, doesn't it? Like you left your Fiesta ST in the water for too long and that happened. Apparently he's not very enthused with that comment. Power-wise, it's got plenty of power. A little bit of delay and go. The shifts though, the shifts are what kill it. The shifts, it leans forward on the shift, it pauses, and then it grabs gear. It leans forward, it pauses, and it grabs the gear. I feel it would be best suited with a dual clutch gearbox. It's not fast, it doesn't just bang out the shifts really quick. I was really surprised from a slow speed when you get on it. It'll actually kind of jerk the wheel just a tiny bit. It has quite a bit of torque steer because this is a front biased all-wheel drive system. Don't get me wrong though, I mean, it's still fun to drive. I'm having fun driving this thing. For being 4,477 pounds, exactly, I believe is the correct weight, it does handle fairly decent. You can tell its weight when you go into corners with it. It has some body roll to it, and it's kind of, I don't know, it floats back and forth. It's not very stable if you push it too hard. But for this being a big crossover, it definitely handles fairly well. It's not hot hatch handling though. Good brakes. For these not being 4-piston Brembos or 6-piston Brembos, and just being the Ford's upgraded brake package, it stops pretty decent. Speaking of the brakes, let's test them out. No one behind me, no one around. These brakes work good. Me, ST is reserved for hot hatches, but Ford doesn't make any anymore, so can you still use the ST nameplate? I don't know. That's a really tough question. My personal opinion is it should be reserved for performance vehicles, and this is a performance vehicle. It's a very confusing situation. I feel if you're a mom that doesn't want to sacrifice performance, this makes a great mommy missile. But it's like 7/10 there. There's just a few tweaks that could make this thing perfect. Where the Edge ST really shines is on the interstate though. This thing just floats along. I feel like it'd be well suited to the Autobahn because it masks speed incredibly well. That was really hard to say. Masks speed incredibly well. It just floats along. It's nice and smooth and soft and comfy. This would be a great road trip vehicle. It except for the fact that since I've had it, I've been averaging 19 miles per gallon. But that's kind of because I've been rolling into them beans a little bit with it. And speaking of beans, I'm going to tell you the bean score right ahead. If you're new to my channel, you've never seen one of my videos before where I do car views, I give what's called a bean score, and it's a rating based upon how many beans can be extracted out of the vehicle when you mash the gas. The Edge ST gets 2 tiny beans, 2 small beans. It's enough to get 2 bean rating though, because this thing isn't slow, and it definitely has room to grow. I would like to see one of these things tuned with some upgraded turbos. So what are my final thoughts on EcoBeast? Well, it's a very confusing vehicle, sort of an identity crisis. There's a lot to like about it, there's a lot to not like about it. I see what Ford's trying to do here, and my best suggestion would be, if you're gonna make a fast crossover, take the Escape and stick the Focus RS drivetrain into that. And then the car enthusiasts will still be happy because they'll have like a lifted rally version of the Focus RS, and you can still make performance crossovers that will sell. Maybe? I don't know. I don't have a degree in marketing. I just missed the hot hatches you guys used to sell. Anyway, I'll see you guys soon in another video. Bye. Ugh. Get off my face. If Ford really wanted to make this a top performer as far as a performance crossover goes,